Hello and welcome to another episode of In the Headlights. Today we're looking at the last of what I feel was the greatest generation of the entire Mitsubishi brand. Of course, we're looking at the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 10. And I'd like to give a big shout out to Star 9 Workshop for lending us this car to film today. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of all our future uploads. So the Evolution line is based on the standard Mitsubishi Lancer, and much like the WRX STI I reviewed a little while ago, the Evos were the production version of the car that Mitsubishi sent to compete in the World Rally Championship. Now the first Evo, the Evo 1, came out in 1992, and over the years it's gone through evolution after evolution get it? Until we arrive at this, the Evo 10, the very last one. This was first seen in Japan in 2007 and was cancelled in 2015. So what we're looking at today is truly the end of an era, and I'm going to show you why. So I'll start with the looks. Now the Evo 10 was quite the departure from the usual Evo look that the first 9 had. This one is far more round and curvy, and you know what, if I'm honest, I was never the biggest fan of it. I'm still not. I always liked the way the 9 looked, but don't get me wrong, I still don't think this is a bad looking car. It still has stuff like, for example, this Evo specific hood with the vents and the necker duct, and this huge gaping mouth of a front grille to feed as much air as you could into the engine and the cooling. So speaking of engine, this is actually the first Evo to not use the hallowed 4G63 2-litre turbo engine. Now this still has a 2-litre turbo engine, but this is the 4V11 instead. Now in Singapore, the Evo 10 came in 2 trim levels, the RS, which was kind of a base model, and the GSR, which this one is. Now the GSR then came with 2 options of gearbox, one a 5-speed manual, which this one has, or a 6-speed dual clutch automatic that Mitsubishi called the SST. You got all that? You alright? Okay, moving on. So much like every other Evo on the planet, this one has been heavily modified. So this one now features Brian Crowler Stage 2 cams, upgraded cooling, upgraded fuel pump and fuel rails. It's got bigger injectors as well as an Ogura twin plate clutch. But even without all of these extra bits, the Evo 10 from the factory already made 290 horsepower and over 400 Newton meters of torque, which even by today's standards is still a very healthy amount. Now moving on to the side of the car, the RS trim level cars, they actually just got the bare necessities pretty much from the factory, but the GSRs, they got a bunch of goodies from Mitsubishi. Now these could have included BBS wheels, Brembo brakes, as well as Bilstein shocks and Eibach springs. Now again, this car has been modified, so this now runs TE37 rims, it's got Bridgestone RE71 RS tyres, AP Racing big brake kit, as well as BC Racing 3-way coilovers. Now apart from that, on the side profile, save for some flared fenders, the Evo 10 actually looks largely similar to the standard Lancer, which is a bit of a recurring theme with this car, as you'll find out. Now as always, if you want to change the way your car looks in terms of colour or body kits or whatever, you can always hit up our friends at Voss Automotive. With a keen understanding of vinyl wraps, paint and custom automotive bodywork, Voss Automotive is your best option to give your car a 360-degree makeover without breaking the bank. So at the back of the car, you might think that this gigantic rear wing is a bit ludicrous, but this is actually very similar to the stock one. The stock one is just flat, this one has a bit of a ridge in it. Now further down from that, the Evos have a larger rear diffuser than the standard Lancer, and this one has an HKS exhaust system. Now the boot lid is actually identical to the standard Lancer, except that this one has no keyhole. So boot space, on the other hand, in the Lancer Evo is actually quite a bit different from the standard Lancer, because you see that black thing at the back? That's actually the battery and the windshield washer fluid reservoir that's been moved to the back of the car. Now in my mind, this is probably for weight distribution, or maybe there wasn't enough space up front where the engine is bigger. Now because of that, you do get a bit of a reduced boot space. It's not small, but it is a bit less than what you'd expect a sedan to have. Now again, the exterior look of the Evo 10 is still something I'm not the biggest fan of. I still prefer the way the 8 and the 9 looked, but it has grown on me. And there's always something special about the souped up, go fast version of an everyday car. It just feels more, you know? And the Evo 10 gives me that feeling anyway. You all know the drill, huh? Singapore is too damn hot, which means your car is also feeling the effects of the sun. So to protect it, you can use 3K Defense from our friends over at KGC Workshop. 3K Defense has been established since 2016 and is customized for Singapore's weather, providing you with the most suitable coating for our climate to protect and shine your car. So here we are in the back seats of the Evo 10, and honestly, there isn't that much space. I mean, I do have some leg room, not very much, it's very minimal. I have some foot room, a little bit of wiggle room. Headroom's okay, but in terms of amenities, there's absolutely, oh no wait, no, I stand corrected. There is an armrest with some cup holders. That's it. So here we are in the front seats of the Evo 10, and the first thing you kind of notice in terms of interior quality is that, I'm not gonna lie, everything kind of feels a bit cheap. It does just feel like Mitsubishi just threw, you know, stuff from the normal Lancer on here and called it a day. So I'll start with the stuff that isn't found on your normal Lancer. And the first are the seats. So these seats are the factory seats that you could get with the GSR trim level. These are Recaros, and they are tightly bolstered. They hold you in nice and snug and very comfortable. Now, the other thing you don't get on your normal Lancer is the AWC, or all-wheel control. Now that's limited to just the Evo models, and basically you can toggle your four-wheel drive kind of auto system between tarmac, gravel and snow for all the snow we get here. I'm kidding, it's a rally car, they do rally car things. Anyway, moving on, we have the steering wheel. And other than this little toggle for the all-wheel control AWC, I'm pretty sure this is pretty much the same wheel you get on your normal Lancer. So we have a DEFI gauge, AEM air fuel ratio gauge, aftermarket infotainment system, as well as this short shifter to shift your 5-speed manual gearbox. And in terms of interior, that's about it. You get your cheap Mitsubishi climate controls, you get some cheap Mitsubishi buttons, and that's it. That's all you get in your Mitsubishi Evo 10, even though it is, you know, the special edition, special go fast version. But of course, they've put the money elsewhere. They put it up front, they put it in the drivetrain. So let's go drive and see how all of those have paid off. Driving the Evo 10. First thing you realize very quickly is that this is quite a visceral experience. The car's loud. With the coils, this thing's, you know, it's really jumpy. The shifter is huge. It's got really short shift. The clutch is pretty unforgiving, but oh man, it feels good, you know, as always, to be driving a manual and all that. But above that, you know, to be able to drive an Evo 10, this is the last real car, effectively, that Mitsubishi has made in the, I don't know, when did this go off of sale? 2015? In the last 10 years or so, this is the last proper car that Mitsubishi made. And I'm driving it. And, you know, this is the stuff of boy dreams, you know. People want an Evo, people want a WRX, and they're just not the same anymore. You don't get them the way this car is, you know. In this time period, you just don't get it anymore, and what a shame. I wish more cars today were like this, but they come few and far between, and above all, I'm just grateful for the chance to experience this. Just grateful. Now, how the thing drives, I mean, this thing's bloody quick. 300 horsepower, 400 newton meters, so 400 newton meters of torque. Nothing to scoff at. It's not you know, a fast Mitsubishi. It's like, oh yeah, that was a pretty fast thing. Like, this is a fast car. There's no denying it, and you feel it, and you know, even till today, it still retains that atmosphere and that DNA of Mitsubishi's you know, rally heritage there, that they know how to build a performance car. Again, because the roads are a bit damp today, and I'm on RE71 RS high performance tires. I don't have the best grip in these conditions, but the Evo's all-wheel drive system working well to sort everything out and keep me safe. Now that's not to say that I don't have a lot of grip. You can feel that this car just has the potential to make stupid amounts of grip. It's just not able to be utilized at this point in time. Turn in is direct. Steering feel is okay. The brake feel is incredible. You can really stand on the pedal with as much force as you want and soak it up. Even though this one isn't stock, it's had a bunch of stuff done to it, you can tell that the Evo as a platform is just undoubtedly just a solid platform for you to use as your canvas, to work as your artwork, put whatever you want on it, make it yours, What a great platform. So here we are, it's a straight line. What I'm going to do is a quick third gear pull. See how the Evo fares. Ready? There's the boost, where's the boost? There's the boost. It just revs all the way up. This thing is ferocious. It really just keeps pulling. There's such a surge of torque, especially once the turbos kick in, once they're in their boost range. It just doesn't stop going. Whew. Mitsubishi, why can't you do these again? What a waste. What a waste. So I'm not gonna lie, the clutch in this is pretty fierce. I'm not that used to it. I'm still getting used to it, but man, what a car to drive. It just, you feel everything, Granted, yes, this car is heavily modified, but still, the fact that this was done on what is at its core essentially is still just a normal economy car. The Lancer is just a your normal everyday kind of car, and I haven't even started on the sounds this thing makes. Ready? Turbo noises just don't get old, they don't. The engine sound on this is a bit drony. You can probably hear it in the background, but you get into it a little bit, and then it just all the way off. But if I were to compare it to something like the WRX that I drove recently, this one feels a bit more precise, a bit more clinical. The WRX felt a bit heavyweight boxing. This one feels a bit more maybe, welterweight boxing, a bit more agile, whereas the WRX is just one big punch. This thing feels a bit more delicate, a bit more finely tuned. Now, if you drive a high-performance enthusiast automobile like this, you're going to need protection, and for that you can use SPC lubricants, where protection is everything. I strongly believe that by cancelling the Evo 10, Mitsubishi effectively cut off most of their fan base and shot themselves in the foot. I just cannot understand why they would shelve things like this that were so cool and instead pursue things like the Attrage or the Eclipse Cross. Such a waste, because to me and to most of you, if not all of you, this was the real Mitsubishi. And I can only hope and pray that one day, maybe, just maybe, they return to some of their former greatness. Now, no matter what you drive, you're gonna need insurance, and for that you can use our friends at Direct Asia. As the only direct insurer with the highest NCD, lifetime repair guarantee, and flexible coverage, Direct Asia protects your car so you can have peace of mind and enjoy the moments that matter. Because what drives you matters most. Get a quote now at directasia.com or call 665 5555 today. As always, thank you very much for watching this episode of In the Headlights. Be sure to like, share and subscribe. And again, a very big shout out to Star9 Workshop for lending me the Evo 10. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you soon.